In this video, I'm going to go over how to subtract mixed numbers. It's just like adding the mixed numbers. There's a couple of ways that you can do it, but I'm going to show you both ways, but I'm going to recommend that you really just focus on doing it one way, and I'm going to explain that as we go along. Let's say I have two fractions, mixed numbers, 4 2/3 minus 2 1/4. Okay. First way I'm going to do it is just like I did with the addition. I'm going to go ahead and change each of my mixed numbers into an improper fraction. Okay. Take care of that. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14, so that's 14 over 3, minus, this will be 9 over 4. Okay. Now I have my two fractions, even though they're improper. I'm going to go through and do the exact same thing that I've been doing the whole time. I'm going to do 14 times 4 and 3 times 9. Okay? These are larger numbers, and it might take you a minute to work out the multiplication on it, but it's going to be 56 and 27. And then you're going to multiply the denominators together to get a common denominator. The good news about this, though, even though these are large numbers, is remember this is subtraction. So they're not going to get any bigger than they are right now. 3 times 4 is 12, so my common denominator is going to be 12 in this case. So I've got 56 twelfths minus 27 twelfths. And when I do the subtraction on that, I might have to work that out off to the side. 56 take away 27. Turns out to be 29. So I'm left with 29 twelfths. Well, that's an improper fraction. I've got to fix that. So I've got to go through and do the division. And 29 divided by 12. 12 will go into 29 2 times, because 2 times 12 is 24. And so 29 take away 24 leaves me with 5. So my answer is 2 5/12. And I know that I'm finished because 5 is a prime number, and 5 won't go into 12 evenly, so I'm finished. I can't simplify that down any further. Okay? So this is the first way I could do it. The second way that I could do it is, just like we did with the addition, I could ignore the whole number first, and then go ahead, work with the fractions, and then do the subtracting of the whole numbers. So let's try that. I'll just take 2/3 minus 1/4. Much smaller numbers to work with. 4 times 2 is 8, 3 times 1 is 3. And then I'm going to multiply my denominators again. So I'm going to get 8 over 12 minus 3 over 12. That's going to give me 5 over 12. Okay? But I'm not finished yet because I didn't include the 4 minus 2. So I work that out real quick. 4 minus 2 is 2. And then I've got the 5/12. Okay? That's two ways to work it, and it seems like this way would be the better way. But because we have whole numbers involved, we can run into a problem, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's say that I'm going to switch the fractions around. Okay? I can do this. I know that this fraction is smaller than this one because I've already worked with them. But I can do it because in front of those two fractions are whole numbers, and 4 is larger than 2. So I can have 4 1/4 of something, say yards of fabric, and I can take away from it 2 2/3 yards of fabric because 2 is less than 4. So this is the problem that I run into. Let's say that I'm trying to do the method where I ignore the whole numbers first. If I say 1/4 minus 2/3, well, when I cross multiply, I got a problem. Because now I have 3 over 12 minus 8 over 12. Okay? I can't do this. I can, but I'm going to get a negative number. So you run the risk when you remove the whole numbers, you run the risk of working with fractions that are in the wrong order in order to subtract them. Okay? There's several ways you can get around that, but that gets beyond what we really need to focus on right now. So my suggestion is, it may take a little bit longer because you're working with larger numbers, but just change the mixed numbers into improper fractions. Okay? You won't run into that problem when you do that. And let me show you. 4 1/4 minus 2 2/3. Okay? So I'm going to change this. That's 16 17 over 4 minus 8 over 3. Okay? I do my cross multiplication. Okay? 17 times 3 is 51. 4 times 8 is 32. And then I'm going to multiply my denominators. So I've got 51 over 12 minus 32 over 12. And I do my subtraction, and I get 19 over 12. And that's an improper fraction, but I can figure that out. 12 will go into 19 just once. 19 take away 12 leaves me with 7. So I'm left with 1 and 7/12. Okay? I didn't run into any problems when I kept the whole number in and changed it to an improper fraction. So when you're subtracting mixed numbers, what I want you to do, and my advice to you, is to do this method. Involve the whole number, change them into improper fractions, and do your subtraction. Okay? And that's how we subtract mixed numbers.